Welcome back to my channel. He built a kingdom on 4 wives, a life carefully constructed on loyalty, trust, and the sprawling land of Coyote Pass. But all of it came crashing down in a single courtroom session, the kind of collapse that doesn't whisper, it shouts. The judge raised a deed, and suddenly the silence was louder than any scream. Robyn's secret signature stared back like a betrayal carved in ink. Christine's hidden folder surfaced as if it had been waiting for this moment, and Mary's shocking diary page landed like a bomb at the center of the room. Kody, once the self-proclaimed patriarch, the man who thought he could control hearts, minds, and property with ease, found himself silenced, cornered by the very women he vowed to honor equally, while his own son stepped forward to press play on a voicemail that detonated every carefully built lie. Coyote Pass was never just a piece of land. It was the epicenter of betrayal, fraud, and the secret of a 5th wife no one saw coming, and now every promise, every vow, every forever he claimed to protect was exposed as smoke and mirrors. Mary's hands trembled, knuckles white with decades of suppressed rage. Christine's eyes cut through the room like a scalpel seeking justice. Janelle tapped her pen like a heartbeat counting down the end, and Robyn, sitting alone behind her husband, clutched the paper that would unravel the Brown legacy in front of everyone. The courtroom shifted with each revelation, each signature, each admission, and as new evidence was submitted, proof of unilateral land transfers, signed deeds filed without consent, confessions of a plan that excluded the wives entirely, the air became thick with tension, history, and heartbreak. The truth wasn't just emerging. It was crashing in, dismantling an empire piece by piece, exposing every manipulation Kody orchestrated to isolate, control, and dominate his family, and leaving a single question burning through the silence. If your family betrayed you this deeply, would you stay loyal? Or burn it all down with them? The courtroom erupted again, but this time it wasn't just tension. It was a powder keg waiting for a spark, and everyone knew the Brown Empire was about to ignite. Robyn arrived first, gray and quiet, no makeup, no jewelry, and no Kody at her side. Mary followed, expression unreadable, clutching folders that could bury a legacy, while Janelle and Christine arrived together, silent but speaking volumes with their glances. Kody came last, flanked by attorneys, looking less like a husband and more like a defendant facing the storm he had spent decades orchestrating. The judge called the session to order, focusing on the land transfer to Robyn's private LLC, questioning if this was fraud, collusion, or betrayal of the binding 2018 marital contract. Mary stepped forward first, her voice steady as she framed the truth. This wasn't just a signature. It was Robyn choosing secrecy over sisterhood. Robyn's defense stumbled out a single haunting line. "I signed what Kody told me to sign." But it was too late. The evidence spoke louder than excuses. The Coyote Pass master plan, once evenly divided, now showed Robyn controlling parts of Mary's land and the entire commercial access road, a corridor meant for family investment, Airbnb plans, and future stores. Screenshots, texts, and deeds revealed that she wasn't ignorant. Months before signing, she discussed fencing and expansion with a real estate agent. Christine's sharp voice cut through, Janelle's fury punctuated every revelation, and Mary's pain echoed in every corner of the room. Then came the bombshell. The LLC, tied not only to Robyn but to Aaron Wakefield, the same name whispered in the nanny's journal, the same financial strategist Kody had claimed was a consultant, now co-owned part of their family's land. Kody's defenses faltered, his justifications clashing with reality. "I was consolidating, protecting, streamlining," but the judge, the wives, and the room saw it for what it was, a betrayal, a systematic push that isolated them one meeting at a time. The air was thick with betrayal, strategy, and decades of suppressed anger, all coming to a head as the judge leaned forward and asked the question that could shatter everything. "Mr. Brown, did you breach the multi-spouse property agreement when you filed this new deed with Robyn's LLC?" Silence fell like a guillotine blade, and for the first time, the Brown family's carefully constructed kingdom showed cracks that might never be repaired. Kody didn't answer. The silence spoke louder than any words could. A man trapped at the center of a web of lies, every thread snapping all at once as Robyn suddenly rose, tears welling in her eyes, whispering that she never wanted this, that she only wanted security, while Christine's icy stare and Janelle's quiet fury cut through the room, making it clear that the land was the only thing that ever felt fair and that their shared dreams had gone up in smoke. The judge slammed authority down, freezing all Coyote Pass transfers and holding both Kody and Robyn accountable, opening a fraud investigation that would expose every manipulation, every secret, and every betrayal, and the media outside erupted as headlines screamed Robyn's secret signature, Kody's lies, and the legal blow delivered by the women he tried to control. Day 3 began with the courtroom buzzing, a thick, nervous electricity filling the air as the nanny's diary, a small leather journal now central to the unraveling, was carried in, humble in appearance but lethal in its revelations. Late-night meetings with Aaron, whispered promises of secrecy, Robyn's fear of being replaced by someone newer, easier, and the chilling admission that once the land was secure, none of the wives would matter. Gasps echoed as Mary read each damning passage. Christine slammed her folder shut, and Janelle's whispered truth cut sharper than any document. They had been useful only until the land became negotiable, disposable once Kody's plans were in motion. Then, the courtroom froze again as Erin Wakefield herself entered, tall, composed, a folder in hand, and declared she was co-owner of the LLC tied to the Coyote Pass transfer, ready to testify under oath. Shock rippled through everyone. Reporters scrambled, Robyn buried her face, Christine muttered in disbelief, and Janelle braced herself. Aaron calmly explained that she and Kody had been restructuring Coyote Pass for years, consolidating ownership under a single trusted person, himself, he claimed, but in reality, the trust was misplaced on her, and the room erupted anew as Robyn realized she, too, had been deceived, and the dynasty Kody spent decades building began to crumble in real time before every eye in that courtroom. The courtroom was electric. Erin Wakefield hesitated, her eyes flicking away ever so briefly, the silence louder than any denial. Christine slammed her palm on the table. Liar. The judge banged the gavel. Control yourself, he said, but Christine trembled with rage. Janelle stepped forward, audio recorder in hand, her hand steady despite the tremor in her voice. Your Honor, this is from a conversation I had with Kody last year. I never meant to share it, but the truth belongs to all of us. The recording crackled. Kody's voice filled the room. Once the land is moved, they won't have power over me. Robyn will think she's getting it, but it's really going to Aaron. She's the only one who deserves that land. After this transfer, I'll finally be free. Silence fell like thunder. Robyn trembled, sobbing. How could you? You told me it was for us. Christine's voice cut sharp and cold. You abandoned us the moment you chose greed over family. Janelle's eyes were icy. And now everyone sees it. Even Robyn. The judge removed his glasses, pinching the bridge of his nose. I've presided over family disputes for 30 years, he said slowly. But never have I seen a case where one manipulated so many for so long. Mr. Brown, you betrayed every spouse in this courtroom. Legally, financially, emotionally. Kody rose shakily. I did what I thought I had to do. I thought consolidating the land would save our family. Robyn shook her head. No, you weren't saving us. You were replacing us. Her sobs echoed in the room. And the rest of us weren't a future? Kody could barely answer. Janelle interjected. You didn't want a solution. You wanted control. You dragged us all down with you. Even Robyn's eyes, once loyal, now pierced him with disbelief. The courtroom wasn't done. Christine produced a manila envelope, hidden emails, notarized documents, and spiritual registry logs revealing Aaron as not just a business partner, but a secret fifth wife, 6 months before Kody claimed to end plural marriage. The room gasped. Robyn's hands flew to her face. Kody tried to speak. Christine's final bombshell, Aaron's second LLC, the ghost property, purchased with over $275,000 siphoned from shared funds. A forensic accountant confirmed every transaction. Kody's empire of secrecy was collapsing under scrutiny. Then the nanny, Sarah Keller, stepped forward, shaking but resolute. She read aloud the damning diary entries, Kody manipulating Robyn, dismissing Christine and Janelle, and isolating Mary. Every whispered plan, every betrayal laid bare. Kody's face drained of color.
Christine leaned in.
He thought we'd disappear. But we spoke to each other, and now the truth is unstoppable. Finally, the unthinkable, Garrison Brown, Kody's son, took the stand. Calm, stoic, carrying the weight of his father's betrayal, he played a voicemail Kody left him. I don't owe those women anything. Robyn's the only one who still sees it. Garrison's voice rang through the courtroom. That man doesn't exist anymore. He used his family as pawns. Kody tried to defend himself, but it was too late. Every secret, every lie, every act of manipulation had been exposed. The judge struck the gavel. The Coyote Pass property is under a court-appointed trustee. No transfer, sale, or development until further notice. Mr. Brown, you will face investigation for misappropriation of marital assets. All parties are frozen until legal resolution. Robyn, voice steady despite tears, declared, I am dissolving the LLC. I no longer want ownership. Split it among Christine, Janelle, and Mary. I'm done protecting this man. The courtroom was stunned. Christine, Janelle, and Mary exchanged looks of disbelief and relief. Kody sat alone, pale, silent, finally facing the consequences of decades of deceit. Garrison handed a sealed letter to the clerk, a message to the rest of the Brown children, affirming they weren't alone. Outside, the world erupted in media frenzy, protests, and headlines, but inside, the women stood together, reclaiming what was stolen, reclaiming their voices, and finally, reclaiming the truth.